conference of the FBK Games. It's going to be a special one, not only that we're going to host it since we had to cancel it last year, unfortunately, but also that it's the 40th anniversary of the FBK Games. Of course, we are happy to host it. Still a lot of challenges to host an event in COVID times, but we're very happy. We have a great lineup this year. We are allowed to have 1,500 spectators on Sunday in the stadium, and that's going to be really good to have some noise in the stadium again, and people excited to have the experience of an athletics meeting again. For the people at home, the FBK Games is known for innovation. We try to do things, new things every year to improve the sport and make it more exciting. We introduced a second screen where fans can watch the race, but also get extra interviews after the race, get extra content of the athletes, so they can get a bit more of an experience because they can't be in the stadium. So hopefully that will be an extra for the people watching from home. We have a screen in the stadium where people can dial in from Zoom, so the supporters can via a Zoom connection cheer for the athletes. So we've tried to make up for the big crowd who can't be in the stadium. But of course, I can talk a lot about the meeting, but the most important is the athletes who are going to perform there. Welcome, Mondo Duplantis, or should I call you Mondo Duplantis, or is both fine?
Either or. I usually go by Mondo, but they both work.
Great. I'll just like to say I ask a few questions. After that, I'd like to give the floor to all the journalists. If you want to ask a question, below in your screen there's a button where you can push reaction. In reaction, you can raise your hand. If you raise your hand, I will be one by one give everyone the option to ask a question. My colleague Jure will unmute everyone. And then I think we have 20 minutes of Mondo's time to get some more insights on what his plans are for Sunday. Can you already, because it's the first time you come to the Netherlands, what are your expectations for Sunday?
I feel good going into it. I feel like things are going in the right direction for me, and I like you said, I never competed in the Netherlands yet, and I never competed here at the in Hengelo, and every year it always seems like a really exciting and great competition. So I'm excited that I've found my way into this meet Sunday, and I think it's going to be really fun.
Great. Let us because we have 20 minutes, so I suggest we just move on and straight go to the questions from the journalists. We have to wait a little bit to get it.
That's okay. I'm chilling.
Anyone who has a question, please raise your hand, and then we can. Jessica, you can ask your question.
Oh, hi, Mondo. I just wondered if you could just give a little bit of reflection on your season so far with the weather as well. I know that in Gateshead it was kind of less than favourable conditions. How are you feeling kind of just about that and generally looking ahead to this weekend?
Yeah, I guess it's a little bit tough to judge the past couple of competitions, because there was one where I don't know, I really didn't feel that great jump, and then in Gateshead that the weather was kind of what it was, and so I haven't really been able to put up the heights that I've been wanting to do, and I haven't really been able to to get over the stuff that I feel like I'm capable of right now. So it's okay with it. I like the things that I'm doing in training right now, and I know that's gonna correlate to on the track and in the competition. So I feel good going into Sunday, and I think that those we're going to see some of those high heights again soon.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, then we go to Esther.
Good afternoon, Esther from the Netherlands, a Dutch newspaper. You had an amazing 2020. Does that give you strength in this Olympic season, or sometimes also a little bit feels it a little bit as a burden because the expectations are sky high, I think.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, you could think about it whichever way you want to think. I mean, of course, the expectations are really high on me right now, and people expect great things out of me every competition that I go to, and especially when it comes to the Olympics, which is the most important meet, I guess, for all the athletes right now. People expect me to go there and do great things, but I feel confident in the way that I'm jumping, and I feel like I can live up to the expectations. I can live up to my own expectations because I want a lot out of myself, and I want to be great, and I want to do great things. I want to do things that people have never done before. So if I try not to worry too much about what other people think or what other people want of me, because I know what I want, and I want a lot out of myself, and so I think that's the most important thing is just what I want, and I try to block out all the outside stuff.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hans, you can ask your question.
Hi, Hans from Belgium. Usually you're a bunch of friends. I remember last year you rented a bus to drive with all the guys, pole vaulters from meeting to meeting. Do you feel the tension is building up between you guys because there's only a couple of weeks left between the Olympics, or is the atmosphere between you still the same, happy, smiling, doing things together? Or
yeah. It does get a little different when it gets to different competitions, for sure. I mean, I know a lot of the guys. I know Renaud, I know Ben, I know Sam, I know a lot of those guys just as people behind the scenes very well, and they are people that I would consider really good friends of mine. But when it does get to a lot of these competitions, especially these kind of competitions like Sunday that are kind of building up to something as important as the Olympics. There is, especially when we're on the track, there is a little bit more of that element of we're really out there, and it's really important for us. And I mean, the main goal for us is always to go out there and jump high and beat each other. And so there is a little different aspect of that into it, but it doesn't change. It doesn't change all that much as far as the relationships of the guys. It's just more like we just want to beat each other even more when it comes to these kind of competitions.
Thanks, Mondo.
Yeah, no
problem. Jessica, you want to ask another question?
Thank you. I just wondered, Mondo, how important this weekend's competition is in terms of kind of preparations and just your build up to Tokyo, and if you know where you'll be going on to after this weekend competition wise.
Yeah, I mean, it's super important because I don't have that many. I guess I have 4 competitions left until the Olympics, and every one is just as important as the other one. And figuring out my jump, figuring out the technique, figuring out my run, kind of just trying to get the rhythm and the timing of the jump down, because I want everything to be perfect when it comes time to Olympics. So this meet is I'm going to learn a lot from it, and I'm going to try some things and try to work out my jump, and ultimately just try to go out there and jump high, because I gotta figure out how I can most easily jump high when it comes time to the big moments. So yeah, I mean, it's a super important meet for me. All these when we're 60 days out or whatever we are, starting to get time to real time where I gotta lock in and I gotta figure my stuff out. So I have this meet, and then I go to have a meeting here in Sweden in Karlstad, and then after that I jump in Oslo and Stockholm.
Cool, thank you. How important is it to have key milestones like that to target and not get carried away with like that big goal and just take it kind of step by step?
Wait, say the first part again. I'm sorry, I didn't really get it.
Sorry, how important is it for you in a season like an Olympic season to have those steps so that you can take it step by step and not just get maybe not overwhelmed, but just focus on the games and just do what you need to do to get there in the best shape possible?
Yeah, I mean, as far as like the way my mentality is right now is, I'm just trying to take it meet by meet, and I'm just trying to take every meet as meet 100%. And I know the best way for me to build up to the Olympics is for me to go out here and jump well and get some good stuff done in these competitions like Sunday. So for me, of course, the Olympics is the ultimate goal, but the only thing that's on my mind is this Sunday. I don't really, I'm not going about my daily life today or tomorrow or anything, really sleeping and thinking about the Olympics right now. I'm just trying to make sure I focus and get ready for Sunday.
Cool. Thank you. Will spectators being there make a big difference to you? I know that you had a few in Gateshead, but it was, slightly wet conditions, maybe a little bit different.
Yeah, but I mean, of course, I didn't jump that great, and the weather was not that great in Gateshead, but it was super amazing having the spectators right kind of alongside us there. I haven't had that kind of energy from the crowd in quite a while since indoor 2020 season. So I mean, of course, it's going to be limited right now. We're not going to be able to have full capacity meets, but it's really great to have people there watching you, because I mean, it just brings an extra kind of little piece of motivation for you when you're out there and you're jumping in front of real people instead of just cameras.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. We go to Pim Bell. I'm afraid we lost Pim. Anyone else got a question? James?
Hi, Mondo. Last time there was pole vault in Hengelo, Sam took the meeting record with 591 after Gateshead in a competition where he beat you for the first time in a while. Are you looking to get one back to try and better that?
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, I definitely have a lot of motivation going into this competition, because I am coming off a loss right now, and I want to get back to I want to get back to winning. So I want to go in this weekend, and I want to show what I can do and try to put up something high. And I guess Sam's not going to be here, but I guess that would be a way to get back at him, would be to take his meeting record.
Awesome,
Thanks.
Okay, then the next is Willem.
Hello. What do you think a man can do? What's the limit in pole vault, and what is your limit?
Yeah, well, I mean, I want to think that I hopefully can be the highest that there is to do it. I mean, of course, I won't be the world record holder forever, but as far as I can see, I want to be the best, and I want to be the best to ever live, especially in my generation, as long as I'm jumping. So I wanna push the barriers, and I wanna open people's minds up on what is possible in this event, and I want to do things that people thought were unimaginable. So kind of like Bupke did, pushing the barriers on what people thought was possible. So I don't know. It's hard to say, really. I don't really have a specific number in mind, but I definitely think there's a lot higher heights to be achieved.
Okay, thank you. And can you tell me about your relationship with Menno Vloon? And can you say something about his possibilities to maybe jump 6 meters?
Yeah, well, Menno, we've competed against each other, I guess several occasions now, and he's a real explosive vaulter, and on any given day you never know what to expect from him, and he can put up something really high, and I think he showed that in the indoor season. He showed some really huge spurts of just talent and good jumping. When he made 596 or something in the indoor season, I'm pretty sure it was. And so, I mean, when you start getting to that range, I mean, yeah, he's 4 centimeters away from 6 meters. So, I try not to count anybody out in my competitors, because I know a lot of them are capable of really high heights on any given day. And I mean, especially coming into this meet at Netherlands, I guess kind of on Minno's home turf, I don't see why he can't go out there and jump something really high.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else who would like to ask a question? Otherwise, I think I think Hans has another question.
Yeah, there are a lot of guys, or a lot of new guys this winter. There were a lot of new guys. Do you ever think I'm not going to be the next Olympic champion? Are you that self-confident, or do you ever think, no, there's someone else? I have to be careful. Or what's your how do you deal with that psychologically? Because everyone says, well, here's the gold, it's for Mondo, and what does the rest? Okay, that's their business. So,
yeah, I get you. I mean, for me, it's just you know, I know what I'm capable of. I know I'm capable of when I step on the track, and you know, I am confident in myself, and I think that, you know, if when I step on the track, and you know, you put me against any guys in the world right now, you know, I expect myself to win, and I expect myself to come out on top. You know, it's sports, and anything can happen on any given day, especially when it's Olympics or any meet that it's a one day meet. It's not tournaments, so you know, things can happen on any given day. But you know, I expect winning out of myself, and I think that, you know, I have what it takes to go in there and to win. So you know, I know the expectations, and I expect similar things for myself. So I just, you know, I control the things that I can control, and I can't control the things I can't control. So I just try to worry about the things that I can control, and that's just getting myself in good shape, you know, preparing myself mentally, and just trying to go out there and jump as high as I can. And, you know, if I jump as high as I know I can jump, then I think good things are going to happen.
Thanks, Mondo.
Okay, then I think I'd like to thank Mondo. Thanks for being available, and looking forward to see you next Sunday. And then we, for the journalist in the call, we're gonna move to the next athlete who's already waiting in the waiting room. Thank you, Mondo, and we're gonna see you Sunday.
Thank you, guys. All right, see you guys. Bye.
Welcome to this press conference. We are being live broadcasted right now, just for you to know. Yep, live straight away. Welcome. Thank you for being available for this press conference. We are having an anniversary this year of the 40th FBK Games. So that's what we're going to celebrate on Sunday. I'd like to start with a few questions, and then we give the floor to all the journalists. Yeah, I'd like to know, because Gate said you look really strong. The weather wasn't that great. What do you expect for Sunday, when hopefully the circumstance will be a bit better?
Yeah, and hopefully it will be a little bit less windy, a little bit less cold, and a little bit less wet. Yeah. Hi, first and foremost, I'm obviously really excited to be running in Hengelo. Thank you very much for having me. I'm really, really excited to be running over the 100 again. If I'm being honest, I don't quite know what to expect. In terms of, I don't really ever think times. I don't think like what kind of number I want from a race. I just try and go in and run the best race that I can, which is a very useful mindset to have in Gateshead, because times were not happening that day. But yeah, so I don't know what to expect in terms of times or anything, but I'm really excited. I've had a good winter and I feel good. So hopefully, if the weather's kind to us, it could be a really good Sunday.
The last time you raced in the FBK Games in Hengelo, you raced against Daphne, and this Sunday you're going to race against her again. What are your memories of that previous race, and how are you going to get into next Sunday?
You know what, I remember I have really fond memories of Hengelo for two reasons. One, I think it was the first time I broke my British record of it was 11:05 and I did 11:02, and it was 2015. So I have really fond memories of being in Hengelo for that reason. And also I really enjoyed racing Daphne there. If I remember correctly, she beat me by ages. I can't even remember what. I just remember I got a British record in PB, but I know she did really well. And I think as a professional athlete, it was my first experience of being in a race when a really big stars racing at home. And it was just so nice to hear like the crowd cheering like that. Like, I don't think before then, because I was still relatively young, I'd actually been in a race where the home favorites racing at home. And it was actually, even though I was a competitor in the race, it's still nice to see a crowd kind of really cheer and get behind kind of their home athlete. And it's very much what I like about track and field, really. Everybody kind of has their favorites. Everybody gets a really warm reception from running at home. So it was nice to run at Hengelo.
Is it for you, because you are there was recently a nice campaign with Nike? You're a big inspiration for a lot of young girls. Is that an extra pressure for you, or do you use it to perform?
No, it's not pressure at all. I wouldn't necessarily say that I use it to perform, but it's not a pressure at all. I just think it's nice. If I'm being honest, it's somewhat unexpected. I came into the sport kind of hoping to run fast and just kind of try and achieve some personal goals. I didn't ever expect to be seen in that way by young women, but it's really nice. And I think that one of the best things you can do in life is to, I guess, give other people opportunities, and also kind of provide, not necessarily provide inspiration, but give people joy, give people hope, and give people kind of, they can see a pathway if they kind of want to be like you. And I think that's a situation that a lot of us are in track and field, and a lot of us have lots of people are kind of looking up to us, and I think it's a nice thing, but it's definitely not pressure. No, it's very nice.
Yeah, it's good to hear. I think we should ask the journalists to ask their questions. So I'd like to ask everyone, if you have a question, please raise your virtual hand, and then we open up the line. You always need to wait a little bit. Ben, you can ask your question.
Hi, Dina.
Hey.
Hey. The Gateshead performance you've spoken about, it wasn't a day for fast times, but it was incredibly impressive how you came out and won that race, beating the likes of Shakira Richardson and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price. How much, we got quite excited after that. How much should we be reading into it?
Thank you. Yeah, I heard loads of you got really excited. It's sweet. I feel like, particularly with lots of the British press, the British journalists, because you've known me for a long time, we're all on this track journey together. So thank you, first and foremost, for kind of feeling the emotion with me. I think that kind of mutual, feeling can't be taken for granted, but thank you. But me being me, I'm always rational. Like, at the end of the day, the Olympic Games is a completely different kettle of fish. Like, even the heats or the semis of the Olympics doesn't dictate necessarily how the Olympic final would go. So that's more or less what I would take from it. Obviously, you have to take the good performances when they come. So I was really happy to do well. I was really happy to do well in front of a home crowd. Personally, from my perspective, it was my first 100 meters in an incredibly long time. And I was very happy to have been able to go out there and run the race that I knew that I kind of could, even if the times didn't necessarily show it. And also, I was just happy that psychologically, what's been one of my targets was to deal with changing situations quickly. So whether that's, is it going to be sunny? No, it's not. Oh, it's a massive headwind. Oh, now it's raining and freezing cold. You know, you've got to be able to psychologically deal with the changes that they come. And that's something that, my coach is really good at kind of bringing out in me. And I was happy that we were able to put together that performance as a team. But in terms of reading into it, I mean, hopefully I'll be able to continue getting faster throughout the season, and I'll be able to stay healthy, stay strong, qualify for the Olympics, and put together a good performance when it matters. But I cannot emphasize enough that seasons are always long, and the Olympics is always different.
What about the importance of beating your main rivals, though?
I mean, I don't know, really. I mean, that's a good direct question. I think that, again, I think psychologically, it was good that I was able to focus in the circumstances, the fact that it was my first 100, the fact that it was at home, which we didn't, I think Gateshead Diamond League kind of popped out of the blue for us very, because I think it swapped for Rabat. So a race that wasn't intended to happen. It was at home. It was suddenly a very big race for my first 100 against some incredibly talented women with some incredibly fast PBs, some incredibly fast times already running the season, and then the weather. So I was just happy that kind of despite all of those things happening in the background, I was just able to focus on me and perform the way that I wanted to at the end of the day.
Okay, then we go to Willem.
Hello, my name is Willem from the Dutch Telegraph. When you think about the Olympics, are you only satisfied with gold, or is a medal also good for you? And what are your big challenges, 100 meter or 200 meter?
I don't know. As for the second question, I don't know. I always kind of just keep an open mind as the season's going, because I mean, when we started 2019, I feel like, yeah, you might not have necessarily pegged me for a gold and a silver in Qatar when I started running in May in 2019, you know. So in terms of where your chances are, always just wait and see. The season, even though I'm relatively young, I have enough experience to just know that championships are very unpredictable. So who knows where your chances are? You've just got to stay in shape and stay focused and perform well on the day. And yeah, I want to put together a good performance in the Olympic Games. Obviously, before we get to that point, I have to run the qualifying time for the 100. I have to make my team and make the GB team and get there in one piece. So before I start to imagine and forecast what that would look a good Olympics would look like for me, I've still got to fulfill the essential stepping stones to getting there.
Do you consider Daphne Schippers also still as a big rival?
Of course, yes. Daphne is like double world champion. She's a fantastic athlete. She's a very technically good runner and she's very strong. Of course, I feel like anybody who would rule out double world champion would be very silly if I'm being honest. So of course, Daphne's incredibly talented. I've been fortunate enough to race against Daphne for many years, and she's lovely, but she's she's very talented. So yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Then we go to Jessica.
Hey Dina, it's Jess from World Athletics. You've kind of touched on this already, but just wanted to ask about the benefits and the importance of experience, especially in a year like this. And when you've had such varied conditions and you know things to go through over the past couple of years, how much do you think your experience will play a part this year? And also just looking to where you were the last time you competed in Hengelo and kind of how much has changed in that time.
Yeah, I think it's been a long time since I competed in Hengelo, 6 years. It's been loads and loads of changes. But yeah, I think experience it does help a lot with just high performance sport. And because now there are very few situations that can surprise you. I mean, don't get me wrong, life is crazy. So there still probably is loads more that could pop out the woodworks. But I feel like once you've been there and done it like a few times in terms of performing at a certain level, the novelties and the things that you might notice as a newcomer, yeah, you don't need to think about that anymore. You just simply focus very much on the race and doing well. And yeah, I think experience helps. I'm definitely not as experienced as some people, but I'm probably somewhere in the lower middle. So I got some, and it's good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyone else have a question? Ben, you have another question?
Yeah, I'll go again if no one else is speaking. Dina, I know you want to keep questions specific to you in athletics, but I want to ask, because you put a couple of statements on social media over the last week, and one of them was very eloquent on the anniversary of George Floyd's death. And it was, you touched upon the idea of sports people making their voice heard, and that is an idea that is still happening a lot, but it's still proving quite problematic. The England football team were booed by quite a lot of fans yesterday for doing it. What are your thoughts on that? Is it, your message was one of hope for the future and about change, and it seems quite dispiriting that it received that response.
I didn't know that. I have to admit, I'm not the most football savvy person, probably bad to say as an English person, but here we are. Yeah, I didn't actually know that. That's really sad. It does perplex me as to why people would be aggravated that somebody wants equality, or boo that somebody would want everybody to be treated equal. I think that's really sad. I didn't know that they got booed for that, and I hope that despite that they continue to stand up for what they believe in. But yeah, I didn't know that. That's really sad.
Could I also clarify from your statement whether you would feel comfortable making such a gesture at the Olympics, given such reactions and also given the rules there?
The reactions wouldn't necessarily, the reactions of people against that wouldn't be the thing that would put me off. I need to clarify with the rules what on earth is actually permitted and not permitted, because I have to admit, in my tunnel vision focus on performance, the stuff that has been flying around with that, I have been not necessarily completely up to date with. So in terms of what I would particularly do, I need to double check and understand. Yeah, exact. I need to, if I'm being completely honest, it's not good on my part. I haven't done the full Google of that, but I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud to be Black. I'm proud to be a Black woman, and I'm proud to not only represent sportswomen, women in sports, Britain, and so many things, but represent Black women and Black womanhood on an international scale. So, yeah, international scale or international stage. Stage probably a better word, but yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, then we go to James.
Hi, Dina. I'm here for fast running. Last year was quite an upending year for people, but it gave you a chance to race for the first time in many years at your home track and your home track only. Was that a nice experience for you, and do you think it's helped lead into some of the good performances you've seen this year, and also to inspire the younger generation who are there and getting a chance to watch that they might not usually?
It was nice. Yeah, I mean, I love, well, obviously I love home. I love my home track. And yeah, it was nice to kind of have a year kind of a bit more under the radar, even though under the radar probably is the wrong term, because it was a pandemic, which was obviously cannot be understated. But in terms of track and field, it was nice to have, wait, can you hear all those drills? No? Okay, sorry, some builders just started outside my place, so okay, ignore me. But yeah, it was nice to have a year that was relatively under the radar. I think it was good for me and my coach and all of my team to kind of focus on making sure that I'm in the best shape for the Olympics and for the rest of the 4 years afterwards, because the track and field calendar is very jam-packed. I feel like the public is going to get sick of us every summer for the next 5 years. And but of course, it was lovely to be racing at home. I haven't been able to race at home for years. And it was, yeah, nice to run in front of the people that I see day in, day out when I train. It was nice to be able to, yeah, do what I do in a race setting in front of them too.
Okay, then we go to the last question for Kyoto News.
Okay, this is Kentaro from Kyoto News. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, I'd like to ask about Tokyo Olympics. Yeah, so in the Europe, of course, Great Britain, in the for example, in the US, so there are high percentage of the vaccinated, but in Japan, so it is very low percentage still. So is there any concerning to come to Japan?
I got my vaccine Tuesday, which was nice.
Oh, Tuesday, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Tuesday, which was nice. My arm is okay. I got it on Tuesday, and I think that, well, I'm just sure that bearing in mind the year that the whole world has had, I honestly hope and believe that the Olympics will be safe. And I think that if it wasn't going to be safe, I don't think the people would put both the citizens of the host nation and us in danger. Well, I would hope. And yeah, I'm vaccinated. I know loads of my friends, particularly early this week and this week, have been vaccinated, and we're going to have our second one in 3 weeks' time. So yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
It's okay.
Okay, then I'd like to thank you, Dina. We're looking forward to see you race on this Sunday. Just for the journalists in the call, we will go to our last visitor, Sandra Perkovic, after Dina, but we just want to say goodbye. Thank you for taking this time for us.
No problem. Thank you. Bye.
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 See you. This press conference will be live streamed, so we're live already, just for you to know.
Do you hear me good?
Yes, we can hear you very well.
Because I get problems with my head earphones.
Okay. You can hear me well as well?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, good. Yeah, we're going to be live streamed. We're live now, and we have a group of journalists in the call. I'm going to start a little bit, and then we give the floor to the journalists. Okay. Yeah, great that you're going to be at the 40th edition of the FBK Games this Sunday. Can you give a little bit of expectation for yourself for this competition?
I'm happy that I will be after 2007. When I was my first time in Hengelo at the European Junior Championship, and there is the place I threw my national record, my junior national record, which was in that time 55:42. So I'm happy to be back in this stadium and this place, and like 14 years after, I'm still here, still competing. So yeah, I'm excited.
There will be a very strong field this Sunday. Does it help you in a competition, or does it make you nervous, or how do you feel about it?
Last year was really tough for all of us athletes because we didn't have Olympics and we didn't have any strong meets. So this year when I started to compete at first in Doha and see all other girls, and I was happy that finally we are all together in one place chasing for that goal, and the goal is to win. So I'm happy that all of the best discus thrower women will be in Hengelo, so I expect a nice fight, and especially with the Cubans and also the girl from Portugal, and of course the silver medalist from Rio 2016. So it's going to be a very, very good competition for me.
Last year we had to cancel the competition. This year we are hosting it again, and we are happy to have 1,500 spectators in the stadium. Is it different for you when there's spectators in the stadium?
I can say because last year we had the 70th anniversary of World's meeting Zagreb, so we didn't have spectators. We have like 1,000 people in the stadium. It was like empty stadium, and this time in the Diamond League in Doha, we used to have a crowded stadium, and I'm competing without the crowds. It's not helpful, so I'm happy to hear that we're gonna have spectators in the Netherlands. So I can't wait to come there.
Okay, great. Then I give the floor now to the journalists. They can raise their virtual hand to ask a question. I give them the possibility to ask the question. It might take a little bit. Okay. If someone has a question, then please feel free to raise your hand. What question do you have?
No, I'm kidding.
Tim, you can ask your question.
Hi, I have a question about Jorinde van Klinken. She threw 70 meters. What is your reaction? And can you tell us something about how special it is to go over that 70 meters?
I think 70 meters barrier is very magical, and before me, the last girl who threw over 70 meters was 25 years ago, so that means something. And I'm glad that young athlete managed to throw over 70 meters, because I know how meaningful is that for her, and especially with her, that is like a future in Europe, and Europe is the best discus thrower country Europe as a continent in past like 20 years. So I'm glad that somebody will continue something what I was chasing like in past 10 years. So 70-22 for such a young girl as she is, and I met her last year, not 2 years before, in IMG Florida, where she was there with her coach from the national team, and I saw that she has some good future, but she needs to continue throwing and enjoying the sport. And right now she, I think, studying US, or now she's doing it, and I think I'm happy to see the other girls also throw, especially from Europe, throw so far. And I also know that she's a shot putter, so when I was younger, I was also doing shot put and discus, so I know the shot put is so much helpful for the discus throw. So, and especially we are going now to her country, and she's not here because she probably study. So I'm happy, and I know how much 70 meters means to each discus thrower, especially women's.
Your first time, can you tell something about your emotions at that time?
I remember I threw 70 meters first time in a split. The first in Varaždin in Croatia, I had 69.99. So I think that was like my first stress barrier when I threw 69.99, and I can imagine that somebody can measure 69.99 because it's like magical. So go over it. Give me 1 centimeter if it's needed. So, and my first time was 70 meters in split. 70-51, and I remember that I know that I came there ready, and I was expecting to throw very far, but I didn't expect to throw 70 meters, because I cannot say that I'm afraid of 70 meters, but you need to respect that distance. And right now, after 10 years after of my professional career, I still have so much respect for 70 meters, because if somebody threw 70 meters, that's mean like a lot. So I know that I'm finally, the coach came to me and said, finally you got the 7th grade. Now you're in 6th grade, so you're in 7th grade. So yeah, it's easy and it's tough, because now everybody expects from you to throw like 70 meters, like it's everyday thing, but isn't. So I just want to maybe give advice to her that she's not expecting so long throws in the future, because 70 meters you can be ready and you can be in good shape, but you also need to have a lucky, because sometimes I know I was competing and coming on competition, and I was capable, for example, to throw even further right now in Doha, but the weather was too hot and the circle wasn't that good. So she needs just enjoy and relax, and that's the thing I'm chasing in my career. So I know every time I throw 70 meters, I say to myself, okay, you're ready, you just need to calm down, concentrate, and focus for the other competitions.
Many thanks.
You're welcome.
Jessica.
Hi, this is Jess from World Athletics. Kind of linked to those past questions then, I just wondered if you could talk us through peaking for a major championship, and when you're always going to look for those big throws, but how important it is to just like balance your time and just work towards those big goals and make sure that you're in the shape you need to be when it really, really matters.
Before every season, I set the main goals, and that's the thing I was chasing for that goals, and I know what I need to do before to achieve my goals for that season. And for this season, for sure, is Olympic Games in Tokyo. And now my shape is going up, and I'm growing from competition to competition, and it's very hard when you have so much competitions in your legs, because 2010 I won my first European gold medal, and 11 years later I'm still chasing my goal, adjusting my podium in Tokyo. So I just stay focused, concentrate what is matter, and from competition, searching and looking what I need to change, or what is going good, what is going bad. So I come back and training, but right now we have like 4 competitions in 10 days, so you don't have so much time. So I know when I finish this, I'm going back to my base, and I have a really hard training for the next 2 months, and I know I'm gonna be ready in Tokyo, of course, if I will be healthy. So for the professional athlete, I always from in this moment I already knows how to win a gold medal, but when you're a professional athlete, you need to come on that podium, come on that gold, and do not have any injury, do not have any problems, and everything needs to go fluently, because I know my index on a training in the gym and on a throwing field. So I know when I reach that index of drawings or lifting, I'm in good shape, of course, if my body feels also good.
Thank you. Could I just also add to that, just about the prospect of competing in Tokyo and Japan itself? Is that something that you'd be looking forward to, competing over in Japan?
When I heard after London and Rio, the next Olympic will be in Tokyo, I was so happy, because I know the Japanese people are going to do everything to have the best Olympic Games ever. And last year when I heard that Olympic Games will be postponed because of the COVID situation, so then that moment I realized the COVID situation is like the pandemic, and it's not like it's so serious, because they postponed the Olympic Games. And I heard also that we're gonna have such a big restrictions. And right now this year I had before Hengelo, I was having the Diamond League, and that's my first experience with the restrictions. And I know that we came to the hotel, I came with PCR, and then we get to the hotel and we also do the PCR before competitions, and we couldn't book anyone else except rooms and dining area, and also on a practice. So it was like the first time I never met with like that kind of competing, because I'm not the person who is coming from competition and walk around, of course, but I also not the person who can just sit in their room and wait for the competition to start. So, but I'm happy that doesn't matter in what conditions and with what restrictions. I just wanna for all of us to compete in Tokyo this year, and I know they're gonna be ready for us, and I hope we're gonna be ready for them.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Sandra. If there's no questions, then I'd like to thank you for taking the time, and looking forward to see you on Sunday.
Thank you, and I'm happy to compete in Hengelo and see you for a few days, and hope the people will come and cheer for us, because for now, for all of our athletes, the cheering is what we needed. So let us enjoy in our competitions, and we're gonna show you how much we work.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye bye.